to take charge of that, and how you take charge of the walk. Have two of your legs on the chair. You've only got two to go. And the next two will be the ones that humans make the mistakes with the most, not because you're bad people. It's the ones I made mistakes with most. Danger. Oh boy. Now to the dog, anything is danger that could kill the pack. Any member of the pack. Now this is not playing at it, they mean it. Because living free, they have their family. In wolf terms, you cannot be too loyal to the pack. They are totally devoted to one another. Not just because they love each other, it's also quite simple. There's my genes there, and this is my future. This is the survival of the species. And they do it by staying safe. They don't socialise. But that's a whole new ball game, which we really go into the courses. But for the purposes of working with your own dog, we don't have to get it too complicated. But this is a biggie. The dog hears better than you and I do. It can sense things better than you and I do. A whole lot. You're in the kitchen or you're in the back, hubby could be cooking dinner. Gilly Beloved could be, repairing the car, making a noise. Dog hears something. Whoa, we could die. So the dog does what the dog does, raises the alarm to the pack. And the only way to do that is to bark or howl. Some dogs howl. I've got one, Mookie, we call it the Gatling gun. They bark. What do people traditionally do when the dog barks? Shout. So let's look at it from the dog's point of view. There's danger! And what they hear is, kill him, kill him, kill him! Oh, you're saying stop it, be quiet. The dog goes, I knew there's a problem now, look at the state of you. You're all right a minute, go till that came along, go away, because you upset the kid. Can't you see what the kids do? Go away, go. I'm dealing with it! And what starts off as bad gets worse and worse. And there you are, yelling at the dog and it's going on. It really thinks this has got to be terrifying. It's got to get rid of what frightens you, because it loves you. You are its little baby. So if it frightens you, it's got to go. The angels make tickle. So, here it is. It loves you to bits, but it's got to eliminate that. Now, the more neurotic you get about it, guess what? Then the dog starts, let's really listen for it. So that postman that came to the house when I barked, and you went silly, I've now got to make sure he doesn't get to the house. So they're clued in and they hear the postman up there. And they start. They're like, go away, and you start. Oh, good grief. No, I just keep coming here. And with the postman, remember, they succeed. Because the postman comes to the house and they're barking and says, well, where is it? They don't even come in. But what comes in can go and chew that up. Take your rubbish with you. Know what you've done to my kid? You've brought the life out of it. It's up here having another step down. It's all right, Mummy's here. Whew, I'm exhausted. But they're going to do it because they look after their family so well. Okay. Now remember, a dog is looking for a leader. Let's put you in a situation that you're in a strange place. There's danger all around. And there's, say, four of you together. And one of the parties goes, oh my God, what do you think? Leader? No, you probably think liability. Shut up! You know what's out there, shut up! You don't want the squealer, you don't want the shout, you want the one that can go. Like Tony said, start, change direction. It's okay. I'll show you. Get their attention, get them looking at you, going, oh, actually, you're pretty good at this. Will I stay alive? And the answer is yes. So I thought, how can I show my dogs that I am leader when they are afraid of anything? And I came up with something so radical, but to me it kind of made sense. Because they have to do it. This is not something, they're not playing a game, they have to do. You must see these areas as rituals. And the same with status, which Tony will do. It's a ritual. I've got to say status again, because I'm going to America. It is, and it's in them, they have to do this. When the dog barks because it can hear something, it can hear what you can't. It knows it's out there. I want you to go, thank you, good dog. And guess what? Mean it. Isn't it nice to somebody say thank you? If you say something, I had one dog in particular. Some of you have seen it done on Animal Planet on the Dog Listener Down Under. The sad thing about that series was that they went back to the people, and I was trying to do backups with them, couldn't get in touch, and they just didn't bother doing it. And I could hear people saying, "Oh, Janet, be so cross with us." Yeah. But one in particular, it was a Sealyham Terrier, happened to be a Sealyham breed, didn't matter. And it went ballistic when people came to the house. I said, "Okay, let's get this ready, cameras are rolling." I said, "Because you don't get a chance to do it twice." So I said, "Somebody come to the door, knock at the door." And then they did that. This dog went crazy. And I just got up and I went, "Good boy, thank you." And he looked at the owner and I lay down. You're not bothered. Why should I be? You see, if you act like it worries you, like it upsets you, remember they love you, they've got to get rid of it. They've got no choice. If you're out and a jogger goes past, and they're running, and they give chase, you go, "Come back here!" They go, "See, and I upset you. One of you always upsets them, I've got to have you." And when anything runs away from a dog, they chase, they give chase, and if they get close, they're going to put the nip in. Because in their world, when they put the nip in, they usually get a mouthful of fur. We've got lovely footage, thanks to Bob Landis, of a wolf taking a little yip out of a big grizzly bear. And you see the wolf go, it's got a mouthful of fur. Unfortunately, us, it goes straight into the skin. But you see, if you get upset, what you do, this is what Tony said before, and it is absolutely right. I don't care what the dog does. It's what you do that makes the difference. So when it comes to danger, they believe we're going to die. I want you to step up to the plate and be the one. And some of you are going to say, my dog won't listen to me. There's stages to it. The first stage is you thank them. If they carry on, you go to them. Good dog, you have a look. It's all right, love. And if they really carry on, your attitude is, well, I've shown you once. You slip a lead on them, calmly take them and put them in another room, isolate from the pack. Remember, this is the ultimate correction. And leave them there. And while they leave them. When they go quiet, then you can open the door and release them back into the pack. This learning by example. Tony talked about 2 Cocker Spaniels. I'd love to tell you a story of when I first went to Mission Wolf many years ago now. Some of you got the 7 ages of, even in the wolf pictures in the first book. Tracy Ann up there took them. Mission Wolf exists because people have tried to make pets of wolves. They don't make pets. Never, never, never. Kent, I promised you. Kent's her husband, and he always says, "Please tell people they don't make pets." But the other thing is television people want them on film, and they don't know what to do with them. They end up at Mission Wolf. And there was one up there at the time, she's no longer with us, Lily. And my first trip there, they said, "Hey, we've got one for you, Jen." Yeah. She goes crazy at the metal pole they have to use to break the ice on the water bucket. Now, wolves don't have to drink water because they'll eat snow. And they get quite a lot of it up there in Colorado, 10,000 feet up. So they said, she goes crazy and we don't want to damage her mouth. Which makes sense. They don't want, when they're kitting this ice, for her to get her mouth in there, which is fine. Can you do anything? Oh, yeah, I can stop that. You can stop that. Oh, yeah, of course I can. You won't hurt her. No. So we went, actually Kathy said to me, "When do you do it?" I said, "Now. Let's get on with it." So we climbed the other half of the mountain. And when we got up there, fenced up, no sign of a wolf anyway. Big water bubble. And I said to Kathy, "Show me what happens." And I promise you, indeed, they have massive areas just for 2 wolves. There was 3 in there at the time, but massive areas. And she got this pole, and from nowhere, this wolf appeared. Put the pole in, went to hit the bowl, and Lily was on. And I went, "Yeah, she's here." She said, "Can you stop that?" "Yeah, absolutely." "You're not going to hurt her." I said, "I promise you I won't hurt her." It was just logical. I was going to let her see, like Tony with the walk, remember, what's in it for me? Absolutely nothing. So I took the pole, and Lily's poised. I'm a wolf. I took the pole, as I put the pole into the water, she attacked. I took it out, and I stood there and went to Kathy, "How far is that mountain over there?" And Kathy went, "What?" work with Lily? I went, yeah, it's all right, come on. How far is she? I don't know. I said, we better find out. It's a long way. And we're standing looking, and this wolf's there, poised to get the pole. Then I watched her go. And the second she relaxed off, I put it in again. She pounced on, I took it out. I did it 4 times. And then the 4th time I put it in, the Lily looked. Not doing that. What's in it for me? Nothing. So then Kathy said to me, and this is an important thing to remember, and Tony's already touched on this. Kathy said, what will happen when I do it? Same question of a different person. You know what to do now. Will she attack it? I said, probably. But you know what to do. So Kathy took the pole, took a deep breath, and showed it to me. Here goes. She put it in. Lily was on that pole. Out, took it out, and Lily just stood there. And as she turned to walk away, Kathy put that pole in. She was banging on it. And Lily's going, not playing, don't care. Don't care. We came down the mountain, and Tracy Hand said, well, she's done it. 6 years. 6 years of that. Done. Never did it again. Because there was nothing in it for her. Did I get cross? No. I just had to show her, why are you doing it? And that's the point. So when you get a dog that barks at anything, paper bags, anything, the more you keep coming, good dog, thank you. They don't react quickly, you go up, good dog, thank you. Stick the lead on and put them out, give them time out. It doesn't take them long to start believing in you, and then the fun begins. Because they bark, and they're almost listening. You got them going, woo, 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 woo. And when you go, good dog, they go, okay, told you, it's up to you now, you know. They've done their part. Now, think of a pack, think of a family, think of a workforce, anything, where when you've done your job to the best of your ability, the one you believe in as your means of survival, your leader, thanks you. Is it a good feeling? Do you see how you make them feel even more special to you? Because they are. Now, you often get, has anybody had it where some of their dogs bark and others don't? Well, they're not going to do every flipping job. You do the barking, I'll look up, you do the going out, and I'll look after the kids. Yeah, okay. They divide up the jobs. They're smarter than you think. This danger thing, this crosses over, like Tony said, with the thunder and lightning and fireworks. If they believe they're decision maker, they don't understand it. They want to get away from it. And Tony did mention somebody earlier on who's been mentioned here. You put them on a treadmill at that point, when they're hearing a noise that they're terrified of. Think about what you're actually doing. That dog is doing the action to get away from the noise, and it's not getting away. Can you imagine the misery? We just don't play that game. All you do is you show that dog you're not bothered. Now, you can sit on the floor with a magazine, read the article you meant to do, or better still, read the dog listener. And you sit there and you just read it, and the dog can come and be shaking by you. And you can actually go, but you be relaxed. And then you can start to make a good association. Something happened last year to our family, which is not ideal, but it's to just show you how important and how easy it is if the other believes in you. And this is important. The other has got to believe in you as being a safety zone. Tony's that fine. And I was with my granddaughter. My daughter had to go off, and I said, I'll get B from school. B was 6. That's the youngest granddaughter. Bethan's her name, but she tells you, I'm only Bethan when I'm bad. I'm big. And so what happened was, I'd gone to pick her up from school, which wasn't far from the house, and it was a thundery, stormy. I left the dog in the house because it was pouring with rain, and I had to go. I got the brolly, and then the thunder started. And as we came out of school, B just got on my leg. She said, Grandma, I don't like the thunder. Now I could have gone, it's all right, darling. You're with Granny in the safe. She was really good with that, wasn't she? And I thought, how can I didn't really think about what I did. It was just natural to make a good association, not a bad one. So I just turned around and said to her, oh, B, he's not been there a day. Granddad's not been there a day, and he's moaning. And she looked at me and she went, Granddad, no. I went, yeah, he is. Oh. And there was another clap of thunder. I said, B, they run out of red wine. Oh, no. I said, oh, and I said, I bet they've only got white. Grandma would be furious. I said, I know. No, no good red. So we're walking across the grass, another cup of thunder, and she went, Grandma, it's good, isn't it? He's moaning again. Then the lightning went, must have been, he's having a barbecue. By the time we got the distance from home, you could see home from school, she was laughing at thunder and lightning. She walked in, her dad had just arrived home, because they all go to school. Mum and Dad both teachers. And as he walked in, she said, have you heard that thunderstorm, Daddy? And Matt said, yeah, I did, darling. And he was about to say, I know you. She said, that's my granddad. They run out there, why are you not moaning up there? Now, when she's my age, what's she going to hear or think when she hears thunder and lightning? She's not going to be going, it's scary. She's going to go, Granddad's giving them grief. I mean, he wasn't a moany sort of guy, I don't mean that. It's just my way of doing it. Do you see what I mean? And so she believed in me, and I was able to replace it with something better. Now, you can do that. You can actually start to replace it with something better. So if you're out and your dog reacts to something when you're out because it perceives danger, like a bike or anything, it could be a motorbike, anything. I mean, people here must have something their dog actually reacts to. But remember where your pulse rate goes when they see that. And you start to anticipate, if he sees a black Labrador, he's going to go mad. If he sees a black Labrador, there's the black Labrador, the dog's gone crazy. Because your pulse rate's been going up.